This one is called USA Insulation. So Nate ended up buying this one. It's a home services franchise, been around since 1977. So they're out of Cleveland, Ohio area. They began franchising in 2006. So they have about 100 units throughout the country. Basically, what USA Insulation does, you can kind of get the gist of it. They do home insulation, but I think there are also some commercial applications. So most of the time when you think of insulation companies, you think of like the spray foam insulation or the bat insulation in the attic, which they do as well, but their core business and what makes them different than all the other insulation companies is their core product that they manufacture at corporate, which is a wall insulation product. It's kind of unique. So basically, what you do is you lift up the siding on outside the home, or you can go in the like between the like mortar of the, if you have a brick home, you can go in the mortar and drill a hole. So they drill a hole in there, they insert a tube, and they insert the spray foam in between the joists of the wall. And what it does is like it naturally rises up and compacts, and it makes your walls like very, it makes them soundproof, but it also makes them it protects from the wind and all the other elements that makes your house very cold. So they've done a lot of studies where actually like you lose a lot of your energy through the walls of your house, not the attic. And so that's what they focus on, is retrofitting these older homes, specifically that were built in the 90s or older. And it can save considerably on energy costs for their customers. So, the challenge with this business is it is a little bit of an education process. And when you enter into a market, educating customers on like, it's actually more efficient to do this than replace windows to save on utilities, or even it's like been proven over and over again, or even attic insulation. So there is a little bit of education process. And one thing that's cool is they do have a software system that walks homeowners through that education, and like it shows them a couple of videos on how it's done, and like utility studies and things like that. So when I say you have to have good salespeople that don't shortcut the process, that's what I mean. Like it's very important that your salespeople follow the process of educating the customer. Otherwise, if you go from A to Z without doing that, they're not going to understand what you're selling them. So it's just in a unique business. Like I said, they manufacture their own foam product. It's proprietary to USA Insulation. And you can do the other traditional methods, but that's kind of their bread and butter. So total investment for this one's between 265 and 410. It is, a bigger investment because you need box trucks, you need some pretty heavy duty equipment to mix the foam chemicals and stuff like that. But the actual process is fairly straightforward in terms of how to like install the insulation. And then, you once you put the siding back or you like replace the mortar in between the brick, you can't even notice anything's been done there. So
Interesting.
I kind of geek out over this one because it is such like an interesting niche, business. But yeah, and the highest performer is doing 17 million, which is the anomaly. I mean, they have 14 territories. That's kind of wild. The second highest is doing about 7.5 with only 4 territories. So that's pretty strong. But you can see here, I mean, there are some franchisees that do have one territory are doing pretty good gross sales numbers there.
Yeah, that's let's see, what's the highest one territory owner? Wow, someone's doing 2.5. Two people are doing about 2.5 with one territory.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting. But those are I mean, pretty solid number. Like this guy who owns 14 territories does 17.3 million. But that's still over, what is that? Like it would equate to like 1.3 per territory there, which makes sense. I mean, at that being that scattered, you're not going to have probably the highest density. You're going wide, not necessarily deep. But then the one second highest at 7.4 with 4 territories, that's nearly 2 million per territory on average.
Yeah. Yeah, and these do well in like markets where there's drastic climate changes. So like it probably does, well in markets where it gets cold, really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer, and discomfort in a home is what they're kind of the problem for the customer that they're addressing. You know, people get really hot. They're like, I got to do something. I just got a new HVAC unit, but it's not working. I need to do something to insulate my house better. So again, like I mentioned, you know, you do spend a decent amount on marketing, and they have a whole plan to enter a market in terms of like radio and print and digital stuff you do. But you're competing against like the window companies in a way, because a lot of times people will replace windows because they think that's going to help with their energy costs. Whereas USA Insulation is claiming that, you know, you're actually going to have more efficiency by doing the wall insulation.
Makes sense. I mean, makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting business. We've helped a couple people buy this one. But definitely have to be, you know, willing and able to manage a sales team. You're going to have multiple salespeople underneath you, and then you're going to have installation crews as well.
Boom. I think you pretty much hit on all the things that are here, right?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Sweet. Well, for those of you who want to see if this franchise is available in your area, you can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Our team can check for you for free to see if this is available, or any franchise. If you're like, hey, I just want to know what kind of options are available in my area, you go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. And, you know, at this point, Kevin and the team have a whole list of franchises that they know that, you know, have good numbers that, you know, it's like sometimes if you're searching on your own, you may see a franchise, you're like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that looks awesome. But you don't really have like the level of insight on the numbers or like how things are really going in that franchise. And that's just kind of a part of the process that, you know, our team's able to really help to kind of expedite for you overall.